Hello, this is a test pilot recording of an idea for a podcast on the Socrates Chat Facebook group. I'm with the founder, Les. I'm assuming your full name's Leslie, is that right?
Yeah, Les. Well, go by Leslie, but I shorten it. Just everybody calls me Les.
No worries. And so this idea came from, I guess, myself having ideas in the past about creating a podcast for people to tune into and listen to lots of different viewpoints from different people, find out about different ideas, and just create a different media outlet way that we can help to grow the channel. I say the channel, but it's going to become more than just a Facebook group. I guess it would become a channel as well, and maybe in the future, as I was saying, there's like a non-profit organisation, which just its goal is to just try and better the world. And how we do that is through having these meaningful conversations. So I guess just as this sort of pilot, which won't be published anywhere, we're just recording to see how this goes. Can you give me a brief introduction as to why you started the chat, and what your goals were when you first started it, and now all these years on, the direction you'd like it to go in?
Okay. Thanks, Andy. I think this way to tell the world what we're doing is great. I always like to do a podcast, but to answer your question, I started Socrates Café probably 8 years ago, and my purpose was to connect people with a common interest, and back then, and it still is. But I feel like now it's being rejuvenated because of the people that's in it that I found, and I think that's important when you're working with people, to find people that have a common interest and have and something that is important enough to put their time in, they'll enjoy doing. So the Socrates Cafe, I think, is a way to bring people together, and with an understanding foundation that we're all equal as human beings, and feel free to express ourselves. Freedom
Well, for
of
me,
speech.
that's what stood out was the name Socrates Cafe, and what people do in a cafe or a coffee shop is to have conversations, and it be a welcoming space. It's a public area; everybody's welcome, and people can chat, and that's what was intriguing to me when I first came about it. Was that the idea that you kind of had behind it when you came up with the name? Was it originally called Socrates Chat, or was that an evolution? Did the name evolve? Socrates Cafe, or was that a name that evolved as the page grew? Yeah, if you could maybe let me know a bit more about that, and just the background of calling it Socrates Cafe, and maybe why that was.
Yeah. Sure, Andy. When I created it, the group, and I need to think of a name, I researched groups that focused on Socrates, and I thought, in my mind, there was a couple other Socrates I found when I Googled it, and actually, there was a few of them that had local places where people can meet in actual cafes.
Right.
So they called Socrates Cafe. But so I just adapted it to an online community where we can focus on the cafe, in a sense, is a way to relax, non-pressured way to learn and have fun with other people, get to know them around the world, and not and instead of trying to have that structured environment like going to a university and studying philosophy or joining a group and they have a specific topic and you like that topic of whoever the philosopher was and what they focus on. So mine was more, I think people can enjoy it. It'd be a broad range of people from novice people to experts. If they just want to sit back at home and just relax and read posts, make a comment if they want, and enjoy it that way. Just come in when you want to enjoy it, just like you would. Same thing as if you were playing music and you wanted to listen to some music on YouTube or whatever site, So you just you decide what music you want to listen to. You listen to it, and if that's all you had time, you go on to something else, right? So it all depends upon. That's what kind of feeling I want. I want that feeling of, well, I want to come to this place because of all these things I'm talking about, just to come in and enjoy it with no pressure. So if you have, in other words, if you want to join the group online, if you have 3-4 minutes and you check posts and comments and you find some enjoyment in that, that's fine. But also we have another attraction we started is create your own topic chat room, which seems like people are trying to do that more every day. They create their own topic room, and it's anything to do with life experiences.
Yeah, I've
You
noticed
or
that.
interest, you can
I
develop
found
a
it.
topic.
I did find it like interesting that how members, even without necessarily being moderators or admins of the group, can suggest a chat, and it can be like I opened one today that somebody had suggested. I think it was one of the members, Matthew, and had suggested the one that we both spoke on as well, which was about movies and film and philosophy, and
Right.
I thought that what a great idea. Yeah, well, and that's it. It's a good thing because it's inclusive. What we're doing there is it's being inclusive of members, and members have ideas that people who are trying to run the the platform, I guess, that we may not have come up with, and the members can suggest things, and if we deem them, that's a great idea, then it'll get created and it'll create another space for people to join in with. So I do. I mean, one of the things that for me that attracted me to the Socrates Café was basically my experience from other groups where there was more rigid rules on what could or could not be discussed, or what is if you're not doing philosophy as they say, then the message is not valid. When really a chat room is for a conversation, whereas I totally understood with the main page um, as being a place for a lot more scrutiny. When somebody posts something, then you need an admin or a moderator would need to read through it and say, well, what is the purpose of this page? And if the purpose of the page is to be taking philosophical ideas very seriously, and you've got a large member group, then you're going to want to have somebody go over that and make sure that it's worthy of posting rather than just giving everybody free rein. But I found that this broke down when it moved to the chat rooms, because I thought the chat rooms surely must be the area, the domain for the everybody can freely say what they want without having admins kind of deciding on what can be discussed and what can't. And that was again one of the reasons somebody actually invited me to the channel. I keep saying channel, but the Facebook group, based on my pushback on not being allowed to use audio recordings in the chat room, and that was the reason why I came over and just found that I felt more welcome there, in this channel on Facebook, and yeah, it's been a good experience for me. I've been, you made me a moderator, and it's helped me to, when engaging in things I have been in the past, dissuaded against or been put off engaging because you see a lot of spam getting posted in chat rooms and moderators aren't doing their jobs and removing it, and then you just don't want to really go to that chat room because it's just overloaded with with spam. And one of the things when you made me a moderator was to be able to remove that spam so that conversations stay free flowing without any interruptions and by people who are not there for the conversation which is going on. That was, so for me it's a new experience, and of course the podcast idea is a new experience, and I think the name of it and the way you summed it up is exactly kind of what's happened. Is you have created this welcoming space that people can just wander into and walk out of. It's like you say, in its name, Socrates Café. You go into a cafe. You don't necessarily have to go into a cafe at a certain time of day. You go in there whenever you want. And this cafe, as it's an online Facebook group, is a 24-hour 7 1, so everybody's welcome at all times, and I think it's great. I really do, and I'm very, very thankful to be a part of the team that you had a lot of faith in me straight from the offset when I was a very new member. I wasn't somebody who'd been a member for a long time and made posts that had given myself any credibility or credentials. You just we had that initial conversation on the phone, and you just I guess went with your instinct, and for me it's given me something to engage with more and explore new ideas, like this idea with the possibly launching a podcast on the platform, which hopefully would help it grow and help others through in any walk of life, with any questions you might have, because that's essentially what philosophy is the questioning of life and questioning on our own existence.
Yeah, I appreciate how it's benefited you, Andy, and I think that each person, because of their interest and their dreams or what interests they have that they enjoy, let's say, or activities, you might say, like yours. I mean, you have a very well-rounded interest in activities that's creative, like music and others, things that you're creative, and that's beautiful. But not everybody, I'll say, is gifted or have that interest in music where they can play music well and connect that way to other people or just connect with themselves. So, in that speaking, we have, in my opinion, the Socrates Cafe would be like, let's imagine yourself you just came to a new community and you're visiting that community. It could be any place in the world, right?
Yeah.
So you go in the cafe, let's call it a cafe, and everybody's casual. You're sitting at a table or wherever, and then you happen to see somebody at the next table and you start a conversation, right? You didn't know them, they didn't know you, and all of a sudden you start, an interesting conversation because they want to learn about you, where you're from, and so forth and so forth. So this is the kind of dialogue I'd like to come from philosophy and Socrates. it's the name to me and philosophy that interest. It's not to me the primary focus. It is, but it's more than that. It is a focus on studying philosophy, but
Yeah.
But when you think of philosophy in life, everything we do with human experience and how we live has a philosophy to it, right? Isn't that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I look at it because I've always looked beyond what you might have a specific intention to do.
Yeah.
What is the greater thing you think you want to do or become, or what's your dream? Well, my dream was to, I don't know, I said that before, is bring people together for common interests. That's good. And that's philosophy and Socrates. And I figure, well, there's been many and many thousands of groups, whether it's online or what, and they bring people together for specific common interest. Some music, some sports, and I don't know how many people together, just on sports would get together, and they're all different, right?
Mm.
Well, I think that since so many people online, I could be able to bring people together and bring people in to start with a core people that have the same, that we work together to have the same, develop a mission of Socrates that kind of relates to who we are as human beings, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. We're developing a relationship. And it's all about connection to life, how we connect to other human beings, how we connect to nature, how we connect spiritually. And that kind of, to me, when we do that in a deeper level, we add more meaning to our life. It's not about just, taking care of routine things we have to do, our response. Of course, we got to do that.
Yeah.
But to have more meaning in life, I think that's that to me is a way of looking at have more meaning. That'll make it richer for us, is to expand just what our normal close things of interest and priorities we do to something greater, to reach beyond that, to have an awareness, self-awareness of the world around us, and just to know that there is people in the world that we can connect with. There is beautiful places that we connect with, nature or what. There's anything you're interested in, or you can develop an appreciation, have a deep connection that can give you a foundation of strength and bring happiness to your life. So this is what I want to do, is to bring people that have this understanding of what they want more in life. They want to understand what their purpose in life. They want to have more meaning in life. They believe that it's important, for example, to have unity in the world and have respect and compassion for everybody. And in today's world, which everybody knows, it's very toxic, and people get emotional, upset, and everything that goes on. But that doesn't mean they have to focus on that all the time, right?
Yeah.
So we
The
need
glass half
things
full, glass half
different.
empty. One. It's
We
an
need to
analogy
get
or something
together.
that I'd heard. I don't know who it was that said it, but it was beautiful. It was so they said, I don't consider myself someday as a glass half full or a glass half empty type of person. I consider myself more of a glass can always be refilled type person. And I quite
You're a
like that.
vessel. You're a vessel. You're the vessel.
Mm.
You're the cup. You're not whether what's inside or not is what's important. You're the vessel, and you are the person that is the manager of what's in the vessel, right? So managing in the vessel wasn't me. Well, that all depends upon what's in the vessel, what kind of liquid or whatever's in the vessel to enjoy. So you're getting more down to the specific nature of what the vessel and what in the vessel. So that's the same thing. Compare ourselves as human beings. What's in us? Who are we? What does it mean to live, our individual life and be able to speak out and share our views?
Yeah.
How important is that? And anything we, and in get back to Socrates Cafe.
Yeah.
The main ingredients where I'd like to invite people or have people join is people that have values, that care about others. Like we have mutual feelings with each other. Same thing. We find people with like mind that want to understand people, have empathy, have compassion. And to me, they call it, as you look on social media, when you have that deep connection for a group of people, they call it your tribe. Well, I think this is our tribe. The people that are in it, that are active, and you get to know them, it's people that are like-minded, like-hearted, like us, and we're just searching for more meaning in life and want to learn more about everything in life. And as we grow older, the more we learn, the more understanding we have about our life, and we get more meaning out of life. So this is, to me, is the sole purpose of Socrates Cafe. It's about more about connection, how we connect with ourselves and others in a good way. And I've always wanted to do things with purpose, Andy, to help others that are in need. But and I would take when I created groups, and they were all for good cause. I always saw beyond that, and I took I was ahead of myself, thinking, well, I'll get the group started, and then develop a website that's global. Will be to bring people in there that can share resources for people to learn, and they can share their interests, and people can connect with them.
Yeah.
And every human being has an important story. You have an important story, and you think that every day. To the age you have now, you have all these experiences, your story. What you're doing now is the accumulation of your experience and knowledge and what you've done so far now. Then what you think of, new things in your mind connect to your story. So individually, we're all doing that. But today, in the group, we're creating a group story and where it's going to be. It's not about me because I created the group. It's about you. It's about we. We is going to be the biggest thing in this world for now and the future, that we all need. We all are interdependent for each other to learn, to have things we need in our life, whether it's products or what, and so many things. So we have to be able to have a new mindset, to have that. It's obvious.
It's a process.
The
It's not
mindset we
something that's
have
going to happen overnight, but it's a process. And I think that
no, right.
it's like
That's it.
these
But
pages like these and others alike, which bring people together to share ideas and be able to discuss things out
that's it. That's it.
without
But
it descending into chaotic, disorderly
you're doing.
argument. Then
We're doing so much more.
yeah,
We're doing so much more as people that are more, I guess, human. I'll say that word. I don't know for not a better word, but as the most sacred thing that we have in common, and not to focus on differences like religion, color of our skin, or any other thing that might be something that we're different from somebody. Instead of having fine picking things that we don't like about each other, let's focus on the good things we like and build from there.
yeah,
And that's the thing that is going to be the underlying thing when we present ourselves to the world like we're doing now. We're going to record and say, I want people to feel that this is who we are. I mean, we're genuine human beings. We care. And people, I think, will feel that, Andy. And the more we share what we love doing, the more we can connect and share that, the more we have the opportunity to share these feelings. Now, whether they connect to us at that moment depends on where they're at mentally, emotionally, and all that. But we will, as long as we're open, transparent, honest, and just ourselves, then when they leave us, maybe they'll get a good feeling if they didn't respond to that they want to come back and become interested, to be inspired to be to get to be the best they can themselves and feel those same feelings. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Some people will have it.
I think that's that
It's
exactly what you said
self-awareness.
there, is to be the best person that you can be. That's what everybody should
That's it.
strive for in life, really.
That's all we can do. It doesn't matter who you are, what your levels of what your levels of wellness or how much money you have. That's nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
It's an attitude you have. It's like I said, the meaning. This is what we want to understand every day and have people support that. If if we get to, the more we talk to each other, the more I support you in your successes. If you would let's say you decided to do something that you love your music, you wanted to expand on that, you wanted to do something more, you had took all your time to create songs and new music, and you wouldn't have time for the cafe. It doesn't mean you won't come back.
Yeah.
It just means you don't have time. I know you, and I support that because you enjoy that. It has nothing to do with having expectations for you to come back or when I get to see you. Just know that when I leave you in a better, hopefully you're feeling better for yourself. And that's the same way I think we all should be with each other. We should just take that moment, treasure it, and be our best we can be to reflect how we feel as a human being. That's pretty much it. I mean, I can say more and more, but I don't want to talk
Well,
more
that's it.
about
I
it.
think maybe we could end it on that note. I think that was quite a good way to end it. This has been like a good trial recording of a podcast. If this ends up getting posted out there, then this may be part one, because as I said, once I've found out more about the tools and the fundamentals of creating video editing and things like that with the video recordings of conversations, then it may get better. So if this does go out, it may just be part one, and there's lots of things we can explore on in part two. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap this up just now, and thanks everybody for watching. If this does go out, if not, then me and Les enjoys the conversation anyway.